Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. I don't usually do live streams, but I thought that I have a little bit of free time. I might as well. So feel free to ask anything in the chat. Paul's 2 cents. Hey, how's it going, man? One person left. One person joined back. Whoever you are, it's good to have you here. Thank you for letting me earn your presence here in the live stream. I just uploaded a video not too long ago ranting about Christianity and how I think it's very feminine. And there they go. They left again. That's okay. And they're back again. Yep. So make sure to tune into that video that I uploaded. Let me know what you think. I think that live streams are going to be very, very rare for this channel, if I'm being honest. Just with, my job and everything. Can you talk about entering dental school as a D1 student and how to survive the first year? I'm an incoming D1 and I start last week of July. I'm a little nervous. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm absolutely, it'd be my pleasure to talk about that transition with you at a live stream. Yeah, man, I'm doing a live stream. This is super rare that I do this. I think as I get married, I'm going to get even more busy. And especially when I go into oral maxillofacial surgery residency, I probably won't ever do this. Probably, I'll be going back to car videos once I get married and it's no longer me in the apartment. But okay, let's talk about dental school. So yeah, you're transitioning into D1, and I did that same thing. 4 years ago, I guess. One thing I would definitely keep in mind is to don't be super outgoing. Go in there and don't be, how do I say, don't stand out. So myself, I made the mistake of really, like, first day of tooth anatomy lab or dental anatomy, I said I wanted to be an oral surgeon. That was really stupid. I didn't have anybody to advise me, just to, hey, lay low, go to class, do your thing. But I'm super outgoing, and so that's a good thing, and that can also be a detriment. Just, some professors just, oh, there's the guy, that guy. I'm gonna mess with that guy. He wants to be an oral surgeon. Oh, so just lay low, do your thing, find your group of friends, and definitely find fun things to do outside of school. If I were you, let's see, it's May 30th. I personally would consider studying. I don't know what school you're going to go to. You're more than welcome to share, or you could just, keep that anonymity. But depending on the school, it can be really demanding as far as the course load, and they may share the basic sciences with medical school. And you may want to go ahead and get a jump on studying, get a jump on understanding pharmacology. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You should also, try to relax, have a good summer. But I mean, really, realistically speaking, you're going to be a professional student. You're going to train as a doctor, and so getting ready to, for that. But if you don't really want to specialize, I wouldn't really sweat grades too much, man. And also, this goes to, like, if you're going to be at a pass-fail school, or if you're going to be a ranked school, that would go into my decision, and to study before you start. Let me know if you're still there. I don't know if you left or if Adam left, but I'll keep talking about dental stuff just because. Yeah, how I started off dental schools, I did dental anatomy and histology, I think, or just gross anatomy, histology, dental anatomy, which is sort of a lab too. And I think we did some waxing and stuff on teeth. And then it went into like the fall semester where we did more science classes, and I was prepared because I did a master's of medical science. That really helped me out a lot. I didn't have to study that much for the basic sciences. And of course, I had to study for the dental stuff because I didn't know anything about that. So yeah, dental school, it's tough, man. It is not easy, and it's going to be a really long 4 years, a very tiring 4 years. Definitely try to take it in bites. Um, Try not to wear yourself out. But I'm biased. I would obviously really seek to look for specialties, and I have a litany of reasons why. Uh, it isn't for the weak. Hey, Adam, you are exactly right. You're my only viewer right now, but I'm glad that I earned your viewership and participation in this live stream. Adam, are you in dental school? Or are you in medical school? Or are you in that realm at all? I guess Paul's 2 cents left, but oh, there he is. Okay. I'll be going to Nova Southeastern University. Been out of school for 2 years, like you, trying to get into dental school. So I took 2 gap years, so I'm trying to pass all the intense classes. Okay. Um, okay, so you're going to dental school at Nova Southeastern. Uh, I don't know if you're from Florida. I'm not from Florida, but I spent quite a bit of time in Florida. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now, Fort Lauderdale, it's more prone to getting wrecked by hurricanes. Just keep in mind, you need to have a plan, an evac plan to get up out of there. And hurricanes can go all the way up into Georgia and the Carolinas, as we saw. So just something to keep in mind. I personally have like a little solar powered generator. I can hook solar panels up to this battery and have power, and I would consider that. I'm on the 4-year Army HBSP, so I will do an AEGD and work for them as a general dentist for 4 years. Okay, yeah, man. I think that's a really good idea. Nova Southeastern University it's a private school. It's really expensive, and yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. The scholarship programs, there's the military, Navy, Air Force, and Army, and then there's the Indian Health Service. There's the National Health Service Corps. There's all types of different scholarships like that. So that's going to be great. You're going to be debt free. Um, the AGD, honestly, man, I would really do a lot of research about the AGD. Every dental school has their weaknesses and strengths. And personally, I mean, you may not feel like you need to do an AEGD. It's still really early on for you. You're not yet even a D1, but so keep an open mind. The A, I've you may not be able to work on the side if you're doing the AEGD. So that's just something to consider. The second you get out of dental school, you're going to want to make money. You're being in the army, you may want to go moonlight and make some extra moolah. So keep your options open. I would highly recommend endo. Maybe serve your time in the army, apply as a veteran, go into endo, maybe ortho, but ortho is really saturated. It's getting more saturated. That's a whole other story. Maybe dental anesthesiology. That's a really good career. It's really medically oriented, not as much the dental stuff. But, okay. Chui. Sorry, I may be mispronouncing your name, my good sir, but thank you for letting me earn your participation in this live stream. Say left the army last year, June, and applied for disability. Approved 4 years. BS Bio 4 years. Yeah, you left me that comment a while back, man. Good for you. I'm glad that you are going to be on the dental track too. Paul's 2 cents. So I hope that makes sense about the AGD. Now, I do know somebody who attended Nova Southeastern. They told me that they were actually held back a couple of weeks, not anything due to their fault, but they were not able to get in on this rotation. They essentially got pushed out of a rotation. They didn't finish all their requirements. So they had to stay longer and they had to pay money to finish the requirements. They had to pay more tuition. So just really be careful as you navigate dental school. Try to get on professor's good side. Don't give anybody a reason to mess with you. You'll probably get screwed with anyway. Like dental school is toxic. I'm not gonna lie. It can be really toxic. These professors, they have worked their whole life. They don't have anything to do but go up to the school and jack with you. It's really weird. It's not all about the patients either. Professors, the school, they don't care at all about the patients. They just want to easy check and to mess with you and be super jaded. All right. Yick, you said my brother's dentist in China. He did my surgery, so I started getting interested in the dental track. He said something about pick a specialization. That's awesome, man. I've never been to China. I don't know much about China. I know a little bit about the history of China, but I would absolutely encourage you to specialize. The reason being is there's just so many dental schools now that are pumping out new graduates. There's a new school in North Carolina that's run by a huge corporate dental chain. There's a new school up in Tennessee. They're talking about doing a new school in Georgia. There's like a newish school up in Washington. Toro University is expanding its class size to send people out to New Mexico. University like Detroit Mercy, I think, is expanding their class out to into West Virginia or something. Bottom line is there's so many new dentists that and insurances aren't paying enough money to you as a dentist. You just have every reason to further separate yourself. And I understand that dental school is long. You're going to be exhausted and tired, but and so you're going to not want to specialize. But I would consider it. Let me catch up to the comments. I'll keep going. Awesome. Thanks for the advice. I know dental school and undergrad are night and day different. What tips would you pick to acclimate to intense transition? Let me finish this thought. Let me finish talking about dental school saturation, and then I'll finish or I'll address your point. So yeah, eventually there's going to be so many dentists out there, especially in the urban centers. You can forget about working in Miami or Tampa or in the middle of Dallas or in the middle of New York City. I don't have any really experience up in Northeast, but if there's so much competition in the city, everybody's just a dentist, everybody can do fillings, everybody can do crowns. Well, you're going to have to bring some different skills to this table. So some people, they learn more implants, some people offer more endo, or they can do nice high flight cosmetic work. So that differentiates them. So maybe they can keep up with and have more clientele in the city, or people specialize. So, as an oral maxillofacial surgeon, there's less of me. However, that doesn't mean that there's not a bunch of saturation. So, I just was went through to a lecture by a program director in Houston, and he said there's tons of saturation in Houston, even for oral surgeons. Not to say I couldn't make decent money, but if you just go where there's not as many people, you're going to make more money because you're the main guy in town. So I'm from a pretty rural area. It doesn't offend me or bother me to be in a rural area. I really want to own land and be away from people. And drive an hour into the city. Go an hour and find your good restaurants and get away on the weekend, but come back to a slow moving, slow paced area, a good place to raise a family. Like, I know 3 orthodontists, they're hyper successful, and they were trying, at least one definitely moved out of more of a suburbia. He was sick of it. The patients are more picky, the moms are just more picky and just uppity. He moved on to a farm in rural South. I'll just say that, and he's so much happier. And so, yeah, I recommend specializing. Tons of general dentists told me to specialize. I wanted to be a general dentist. I wanted to be a general dentist and go into business and practice. I could be a great one. I'm really good with people, good communication, good personality. People like me, so I could do it. It's just that much harder. Insurances aren't paying as much. My general dentist I was going to buy a practice from, he just said, look, man, go specialize, do oral surgery. You make more money. And me personally, I just like the medicine more of it. I like the anesthesia more of it. So I'm pretty content with my decision. And ultimately, I won't have to sit here and treatment plan and have to go back and forth, talk to the patient, figure out what they can afford and all this. No, as an oral surgeon, they come sit down in my chair, and that's it. Well, what are we doing? We're extracting teeth, or we're putting in implants, and it's going to be a good life. Not to say I can't work with general dentists, can't work up with big restorative cases like implant cases, but so anyway, that's my thoughts on saturation. I think it could come to an end because Congress is talking about capping student loans. So if you cut off the student loan problem, then these schools are going to have to either drop their prices, or they're going to have to close, or private student loans are going to have to come into play. Okay, so let me go back to your how to acclimate to dental school. You're going to have a lot more classes. You're going to have a lot more information thrown at you. Now, keep in mind that the national board exam is not a hard exam. It's not a hard exam to pass as a dental student. So the material that they give you in classes, it's may not all be relevant. And again, so Nova Southeastern, I don't think they really have like a medical integrated curriculum. They probably won't harp on crazy biochemistry and all these metabolic pathways, like medical school level stuff. And so that may go into your favor. I think you just need to this transition, what would I do different? I don't think you've had any graduate level education. It sounds like you're coming straight from college, or no, you had a couple gap years. So I think your best bet is just to start studying some dental anatomy, man. Start studying some pathology. There's channels that are dental specific that may be geared to the level of dental school. I would just familiarize yourself with topics. Uh, there's an app called Anki. It's a good flashcard app. People use it in medical school a lot. That's something people don't really utilize as much in undergrad, at least when I was going through undergrad. Familiarize yourself with those tools, and it's you're going from an environment that's no study now to study. And I think the more information that you can get now before you start is helpful. Um, I did my master's, so I was fully acclimatized to the rigor, and you're not. You haven't seen it, so it really is tough to answer your question and give you advice on how to do it because everybody's going to do it different, and it's also, like I said, going to depend on your goals. If you want to specialize, Nova, I'm not sure if they're ranked or pass fail, but I know they do have an oral surgery program. They have residencies at their school. Um, I would also ask students that have attended there, that are already there, that are maybe second year dental students, and see how they're doing, what they did, and what professors, how they ask questions, and kind of how to act around certain professors. I would do that. That's just good practical advice. So keep the questions coming. Definitely keep them coming so you can prompt me on what you want to know. Trent Woodruff said, hammering the 50s. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, okay. 50s, are you talking about maybe some weight? Some weight, is it? Maybe some lifting some weights. I might be tracking on that or something. Well, we got up to 5 people in the live stream. I think that's decent. That's decent. I suppose I don't live stream at all, so this is just out of the blue thing. Nobody knows to get on here. If you were to go back, would you take loans for your school or do Army HPSP? Okay. As I've alluded to on my channel, I did do a scholarship program, and just for anonymity's sake, I can't tell you what I did. All I can say is, Indian Health, National Health Services Corps, and then the military. Those are good options to take. To answer your question, it's going to depend entirely on your school and how much tuition they charge. And if you're going to have help going to dental school from parents or something, let's just say you're going to graduate dental school with $150,000 debt, and that's it. That is literally it. That's very rare. Not many people are leaving with that much. I think the only schools that are that cheap are I think Iowa, the schools in Texas, and Puerto Rico is really cheap, I think. So if you're going to come out with that little of debt, then I think it's probably, you don't have to do a scholarship program. You don't have to. I hate loans with accruing interest. I know, man, it sucks. But with low debt, you don't have to do it. If you just want to serve a cause in some way, if you want to serve in the community and in the Indian Health Corps or all these things, if you want to serve in the military, I can tell you, if you go out and become a dentist and you get in your career, you're not going to go back and do these things. So if you just want to do those things, then that's a reason to. But if your goals are different, if you just want to make money and you have places you want to live really bad, and you have maybe a side business you want to start, it's not conducive to be over here doing this program, then consider taking the loans. But I think if you're going to be $350,000+ in debt, I don't know if it's worth taking the loans, especially now with the federal student loans. The interest is like 9%, people. That's not easy to pay that off at all. That's really, really difficult, man. You don't want to be a debt slave the rest of your life. But that's a philosophy thing. It depends on how you see money and how you want to live, man. If you want to just live on payments and have to work the rest of your life, then that's fine. If you want to be in a position at some point where you don't have to make any payments, you're like debt free and clear, and you can just sort of control your life, then yeah, maybe do the scholarship program and just wipe the debt clean. Military, maybe you can pick 68E dental specialist. I did nothing related to dental when I was in the Army. Okay, 68E. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that would mean. Uh, but it's something you can do in the military. Dental specialist. It's a tough decision about the loans. Uh, I think those scholarship programs are probably the better way to go for most people. Really, let's say you get out of dental school at 26, 27, 28. Let's just say, I mean, maybe 30. You could come out of dental school and you have no debt, man. You have nothing. You have nothing you owe anybody. And you want to talk about power? That's power. You can choose to live your life on your own terms. Income to debt ratio, Charles M. Yep. So, income. I have friends that I guess one is on his. I don't know how much he's gonna make. He probably will make about 400 grand this year. I have another friend who works in rural Northeast, and I think he's probably in the 200s, maybe. I don't know exactly what he's making, but they're definitely making above average for a starting general dentist. But the other one, he works in a Western state that people would classify like this undesirable, and he owns a practice. His dad helped him buy into this practice. He takes a lot of insurances. He works long hours, and so he's an owner. He's going to make 400 something thousand. Okay, let me go back. Paul's 2 cents. Approximately, you said 400,000. Okay, sorry I didn't see that. I am wearing these stupid pit vipers, so 400 grand. That's tough. And by the way, I want to just thank you and for letting me earn those 2 likes. Really appreciate it. Let me thank you for letting me earn your four viewership here. Okay, 400K, man, that's such a big chunk. And I don't know how old you are, but it's huge, man. Is dating in dental school common amongst classmates? Yes. I have 2 friends that one got married to a girl in dental school, and then one is living with a girl from dental school. And I know another one that got married to a dental student. Yes, it is a mortgage on a house these days, Charles. In 400K. So yes, I do know people who did that. If you've watched my channel, you know my philosophy about dating. You know my situation about the person I'm with in my own life. I would never ever date a woman that's going to be a doctor, a dentist, physician, any type. Okay, any type. The reason being is because it's just going to complicate your life. So me personally, I'm full speed ahead, man. I got everything figured out. I need to do. I'm going to be an oral surgeon. Like, my wife isn't even going to have to work when she moves here with me. So it's really like my career is the focus for us, and we're focused on getting me through this training, and I'm going to provide for our family. I don't need a doctor. Okay. If anything, it would slow me down and distract me. And maybe because they need to be in a certain location or whatever, maybe I wouldn't get to do oral surgery as easy. Now I know a resident up the road, his wife is a dentist and it's working out fine for them. But me personally, I don't need it. I don't need that. And there's a lot of personalities that go along with that, man. My wife, she her job is just kind of like a regular job, and yeah, and our roles, they fall so well. Like, I'm a traditional style guy. I don't, like, we're not gonna do the career driven lady. She wants to be a stay at home mother, and I respect that. I honor that, and I want to provide that ability for her. And that's my way of looking at it. Is I wouldn't advise dating in dental school, at least to a dental student. I would go out in the community, go to a church, get on those dating apps, and try to find somebody that doesn't have the doctor thing going on. And I'll tell you, I some of the it seemed like some of the girls in dental school were a little jealous of that, because I was dating someone that was younger than them, and like, wasn't a dentist. Some girls think, oh, oh, guys want a successful, driven lady. It's like, no, I want my success is I want a wife that wants to have kids and raise a family, and it is not wanting to just think about themselves. I'm not doing dentistry or oral surgery for me. I'm not doing it at all. I think it's really cool, but I'm not doing this for bragging rights, people. I mean, I'm literally doing this to provide for my kids one day, provide opportunities that I didn't have growing up. Take them to cool places. And don't get me wrong, my parents did some great things for me, but I want to be able to, yeah, take them to the bowling alley, go karts all the time, and just have a blast with them. Not have to worry about money. So, hope that answers your question. Like, it can be done. It just is going to depend on what you want, like what your dynamic, what you want it to be. I just don't really see traditional women as being doctors. That's just me. I'm not against people who do that. It's a really personal decision, but it can be done. You can make time for it. All right, Brandley Cal. Hey, thanks for your comment, man. Thanks for letting me earn your comment. It's better for the household when one has a career. I really think, yes, I think that the dynamic just makes sense. People know their roles. Like, my job is to go out and work and bring in the money. And then I need help to organize my apartment and to make a house. That women are great at that. They have attention to detail for decorations and everything. And not to say I can't do it, but they love that stuff. They love decorating. That's what Home Goods and Hobby Lobby and Michaels is for, people. It's catered towards women. So yeah, my fiance, she loves that I can provide for her and we can just be on one income. Charles M, you haven't made. Well, Charles, it was a really difficult road to, one, become a dentist, like, get into dental school, really get through college, suffer through that, get into dental school, successfully date, like, get some dates, and then now I'm gonna get married soon, and I don't really know how that part happened. It just, I don't know, man. You get on the apps, and it just eventually it happens, but not everybody is that lucky. I think I got lucky. And yeah, there's tons of MGTOW red pill channels that talk about dating and stuff, and I've talked about it too. It's hard out there. It's hard out there. So it appears I haven't made, but there's rough times ahead. There's a lot of work that needs to be done still remaining, and yeah, and I still have a lot of money I have to make because still just getting started here. All right, Paul's 2 cents. What school did you go to, if you're comfortable answering, and would you do it all over again if you had to, or would you pick a different career? So, Paul's 2 cents. I'm still very freshly graduated from dental school, and I wear this mask and I wear the sunglasses. So I'm just going to be anonymous. I'm not going to say where I went to school, because inevitably somehow people could figure out. I mean, I graduated last year. It's a small world. It really is. The dental and medical community, it's a small world. So I'm gonna avoid answering it. And this YouTube channel it's a hobby. I doubt it's gonna make me a lot of money ever at all. This YouTube channel is just for you guys. But I just don't want to be known on the internet for this because there's some silly videos that I've made, and so I'll refrain from answering that first part. Would I do it all over again if you had to, or would you pick a different career? So to tell you the truth, the other career I would have picked, um, okay, if I wasn't interested in making tons of cash, if that wasn't on my list, I probably would have gone. I would have I would have studied French in high school, and then I would have joined the French Foreign Legion. Uh, this is like my fun made up thing. Would have joined the French Foreign Legion, gotten foreign citizenship, EU citizenship, and kind of gone on an adventure, and then maybe I don't know, opened a gun shop or been a trainer, or maybe like gone to professional school after that. Another cool profession I could have done would be maybe be a lawyer. Ron DeSantis is pretty cool. He was a JAG lawyer. He went into the Navy, and he was like that show. There's a show called JAG I watched as a kid, and then NCIS. They're in the same universe, but it's kind of cool. Be a lawyer in the military. Would have been a cool career. Um, I feel like I missed out on some adventure when I was younger. So some of these things like involve military, like helicopter pilot in the military. Uh, I don't believe in the Iraq Afghanistan whole thing that happened. My whole life, I grew up during the war on terror, and come to find out, it was all just kind of a bunch of nonsense. You know, so catch 22. I mean, military probably wouldn't have been like the best move early on. Um, what else would I have done? I think lawyer probably would have been the other one. I mean, my aunt, she said, you're good at arguing. You ought to consider law. And I mean, I did for a little bit, but the lifestyle is not as good as dentistry. I'll be honest. I would have gone into dentistry again. Yes, there's a lot of issues with dentistry, a lot of issues with insurance reimbursements, a lot of issues with saturation, a lot of issues with student loans. But I'm good at dentistry, and it makes good money. It can provide a good lifestyle if you just if you can get your debt under control, get your financial situation under control, then it can be good. You have the capability of working 3-4 days a week. Not early on in your career, not at all. So yeah, in those ways it'd be great. Now, something that pushed me into oral maxillofacial surgeries is I love the medicine. I love the medicine. I love the ability to administer anesthesia. Like dentistry is cool, but let's be honest, it's more like a trade. It's kind of like carpentry, but when you're learning about cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, how to put people to sleep, that is like true medicine to me. It's very stimulating academically. It's just cool, man. And so I think an alternative career really would have probably been to go to medical school. A lot of people who are oral surgeons would tell you like, yeah, I kind of wish I went to medical school. Maybe would have been an ER doc or things like that. I think that would have been freaking awesome. I don't know how great the lifestyle is. I've heard some bad things, but I think you can make it work too. I think people exaggerate it. Like any dentist working early on, it's going to be working some serious hours, man. If you say you won't, then you're you got your head up your rear end. So, I would do it all over again, but medical school would be on up there. The good thing about dentistry is you can do 4 years and you can call it, man. You can be like, okay, I'm done. I don't want a residency. But I didn't know if I really wanted to do residency. I was pretty much against it. I wanted to be a general dentist and be done. But then I got so passionate about oral surgery, I had to do it. So if you like know, okay, I'm in it for the long haul. I definitely want to do a residency. Then medical school, you should look into that. Got some more comments coming in. Thank y'all for letting me earn these comments, by the way. Brandley, sorry. Did you need to be smart to become a dentist? From the time I was really young, I was always really gifted with memorizing. I remember when I was in uh, Wednesday night Bible study, like when I was really little, I could memorize Bible verses, man. I just like was spitting out those things, and I don't remember them now. I remember one, Psalm 19:105, "Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light into my path." That's a short one, but we had like 20 of them I memorized, and that carried me through dental school. The ability to memorize, that was huge, man, huge. So do you have to be smart? Smart is is such a it's such a loaded thing. Thank you for letting me earn that like, by the way. Thank you so much. I mean, you have to be able to take tests. You have to be able to think and solve problems that people come in and have. You know, you got to be able to multitask, and so if you say that I mean, I don't know, if that requires a certain amount of IQ and I have it, then so be it. And people have called me a smart person, and I some of my patients, I tell you, there's definitely not smart people out there. But I think really what it comes down to is you have to be able to work hard. You have to find your way of putting the information in here and then regurgitating it on a test, and then you can pass dental school. Now, to be a good dentist, you need to have some personality, you need to have some communication skills, and you need to be able to apply the information. Applying it, that's that third, fourth order type thinking. Okay, Charles M. My dentist told me if you don't have dexterity skills, dentistry isn't for you. It is a trade. Is a trade. I guess you mean more than anything else. So I don't remember anybody in my school dropping out due to well, there was two people that dropped out. Maybe they couldn't do this, use their hands. I think it can be learned, and you practice. I practiced a bunch. For me, you're in school, man. You're on the hook for the loans and everything. There was no other option but to finish. Nobody was going to take me out of that school. Nobody was going to kick me out. I was never going to fail because I had worked so hard and slaved for so long to get in there. That was all I had. That was it, man. That was my plan A, B, C, and D. That was going to be my way to make a living and have a career for myself. So dexterity skills, it didn't matter if I had them or not. I was going to get them. I was going to get them. I spent the time in the lab, and I figured it out, man. There's some people that are slower at it than others, and some people in my clinic, man, they're just freaking slow. They're slow, and I guess they don't have a killer instinct just to get in there, get it done, and maybe they're second guessing themselves and stuff. And I wonder about their ability to go into private practice being so slow. But some people learn and get it down a little later than others, and that's okay. Man, we're at 44 minutes. This time has gone by pretty well, pretty fast. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm not using a mic. I'm just using the computer's mic. I usually film on my DJI Osmo Action 4. Keep the questions coming. Hey, I'm here for y'all. This channel is a resource for you guys, and that is all. It is I wear the mask. I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here to be cool. I'm not here to tell you something that I'm not. I'm literally I'm here to give you guys advice and guide you as best as I can. I'm glad though that you guys tuned in and asked me dental school questions, because I talk about like men's going their own way and red pill a lot. I talk about religion. I've talked about some politics too, And hopefully that didn't scare y'all off. Not everybody has my flavor of politics. And so I for a while there, I thought people were going to sort of forget that I'm a dentist and sort of just, I didn't think I'd have many people going into dentistry get attracted to my channel. But I'm glad that you guys are still with me, and that I'm not just only got a bunch of like crazy red pillars or jaded MGTOWers, and I welcome those people too. This is a space for them to come in and talk. I'd love to talk about dating or experiences with that, things I've seen. I've been trying to write down some stories I have from some times that I've seen some red pill stuff go on. And let's see, Brandley Cow. This might not apply to you, but I've seen some reviews of dental schools that have corrupt and unkind professors that don't have the best interest in the students. Do you have any thoughts on this? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. The dental school I went to, it's just like that. Every school is actually like that, believe it or not. And that's hard to believe. Part of you is thinking, no, surely they're not all like that. But I've talked to a lot of people from other states that went to other schools, and there are problems with every school. And the thing is, these dentists that work at the schools, they had a long career. They had worked 30, 35 years. They probably have 1, 2, maybe 3 divorces under their belt. So they're up there for a reason. Maybe they genuinely need the money, they need the paycheck, or maybe they're just bored and they want to be around other people, other dentists. Maybe they can make some friends. Maybe they're brand new to the area. I had a professor in my school. He was brand new to the area and he just went to the school because he had nothing to do. But these professors, they're so jaded. Maybe that divorce, maybe their kids don't talk to them. Maybe they really weren't good in dentistry in private practice. Maybe they failed as a dentist. There's people up there just like that too. And so they don't get paid that much at the dental school. And so our faculty are not the most talented, inspiring faculty that we could have. They're just jaded people, man. And so, yes, they are unkind. Most of them are unkind. There's some that are good. There's some that are gentle. There's some that want to teach, but man, they just in the administration is just like that. Like they're just there for the money. They're not there for you as a student. They're not there for the patients. And they always put that in their mission statement. It's like, oh, we're here to serve this community, to serve this rural community for diversity. No, they trust me. They do not care about that. All they care about is the money. And a lot of people, a lot of dentists out there, that's all they care about too, man. And that's the hard truth to accept. And that's a red pill you have to accept. Is a lot of people don't care, and I care about the patient. But when you're in dental school and you try to do extra for the patient, you try to care too much about the patient, that will oftentimes just get you in trouble. That will oftentimes just cause you more problems than it's worth. Paul's 2 cents. Do you wish you did the 6-year OMFS to get your MD? So I don't think I've made a video explaining exactly about the oral surgery program I'll be going into. Or I can't remember. Maybe I've explained some about oral surgery. But yes, I'm only going to be doing a 4-year program. And oral maxillofacial surgery, it used to be a 3-year program. Way back in the day, I met an old guy at my school. He was my professor. He did a 3-year oral surgery program. And then the physicians I think maybe technically it was only 2 years. Way back in the day. Then it went to 3. Then the physicians in the hospital were like, hey, how are these people doing all these crazy surgeries and they're just dentists, right? Eventually it went to 4 and the standards kept increasing. Sometime in the 80s or 90s, they had the option to do the MD program. Now I think it's still like a majority of oral surgery programs are 4 years. Maybe like 55% are 4-year programs. I don't know exactly. So it's most people still are 4-year trained surgeons. There's no difference in the scope of practice. As a 4-year trained oral surgeon, I can pursue a trauma fellowship. I could do orthognathic fellowship. My program is going to be so strong, I'm not going to have to. That's jaw surgery for those who don't know. I'll be able to do that just fine. There's cosmetics fellowships. I could do all those. The thing is about the MD, yes, I would like to go to medical school. It'd be fun. It would be interesting and stimulating. It'd be an extra credential. The biggest advantage it would give me is if I ever wanted to practice in Europe, it would be easier in some countries. And if you want to do another residency, such as like ear, nose, and throat, if you want to be that ER doc, yeah, you could having the MD, you could do those. Or you could really go practice primary care in a rural setting with that MD with no extra residency. If those appeal to you, then great. However, there is a time cost analysis you have to make, and those 2 extra years of tuition, that's worth millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. An oral surgeon can go make, like right out of school, I know a guy, he signed a contract for $750,000. Now, would you rather have the MD? Would you rather have potentially $700,000? Let's just say you take home 400. That's serious money. That's time in the stock market. You could be investing. That's potential land that you could buy for investments. I mean, you just got to be practical when you make that decision. And my good friend, he is in the 6-year program. I won't say where, but he's in a 6-year MD program, and he's having a good time. But for all intents and purposes, for private practice, for taking your patients to the OR for general scope, oral maxillofacial surgery for trauma, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, and I will be just fine. My fiance, she doesn't want me to do any more training past the 4 years, and so at some point you just got to hang it up, man. Okay, Charles M. Was your schoolmates friendly, or did they have form their own cliques? Early on, people are just gonna form their groups, man. They're gonna form their groups, and that's gonna be it. You need to find your buddies pretty soon, I think, because after the first couple months, it's just gonna be hard to make friends. So try to do it early. Maybe consider a roommate or something that could help get you started. But your roommates, I wasn't ever great friends with my roommates. It never happened that way. Definitely, there will be cliques, but there will be falling outs. People will start as friends. Like I know somebody that had this girl as their maid of honor, and then now they don't ever speak again. So there's that. The cliques will form, and then they'll dissolve, and other ones will start. That's just something to consider. Well, awesome, guys. I'm stoked. I've earned 3 likes this evening and in 54 minutes. Even I don't moonlight right now. My time is actually extremely valuable. I wish I had some sort of tutoring service or something. I could be making some cash money on the side. But this is for fun, and it's cool to see the progress of the channel. Like I like seeing more subscribers. Like wow, these people think that my opinion and my crazy mask wearing self is worth tuning into. I like seeing that. And look, what do you know? We just got another like. Thank you for letting me earn that like. Whoever you are, that means a lot to me. I got to earn that like. Were you involved in any clubs or extracurricular activities? I did a little bit of club stuff. It's to me, it's not necessary. If you want to do oral surgery, just do well on your standardized test. Do a little bit of extracurriculars, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Maybe orthodontic residency wants to see more of that. I every bit of my free time was hanging out with my friends or trying to go on dates, man. trying to go on a date. So that was my free time. I fished in my free time. That was awesome. I'm not like the most into fishing. My friend is, who's in the 6 year oral surgery program right now. He was the fisherman, so I just hung out with him, helped him set up the equipment, and we had a great time, man. Florida was amazing. I can't say enough great things about Florida. I went through a pretty tough patch during undergrad. That was a tough time in my life, and not a whole lot of fun, not a whole lot of smiles during that time. So when I went out to Florida, it was uh it was just so much fun. That's always how I will remember dental school. It's just fun, fun, fun. It was hard work, but it was so fun. So find those fun things to do, Charles. Find it, find it, find it. I'm just checking my phone real quick, see if anybody's hit me up or anything. My dental school friends, we text all the time talking about practice and how things are going, how much money we made, and keep the comments going. I'm here for you, Paul and Charles and Brandley Cow. I'm here for you. That's why I'm on this live stream. Would you say there is ample free time in the D1 and D2 years? I know you get a lot more in the D3 and D4. Well, we really started up the shark fishing at the end of D2. Yeah, at the end of D2 is when we really started doing it. I think D1 is very little time. And then D2 I think is harder than D1 academically and in the dental lab because you do fixed prosthodontics, which is crown and bridge. I think it's harder, but D1 is probably going to be more information. Now every school is different. Now D3 and D4 are different types of hard. D3 you're doing lab work. You're trying to handle clinic. It's hard on your body. It's like a full work schedule in a way. You're organizing all this stuff. You're trying to schedule patients. You're trying to bring the patient back to the chair, and you're trying not to get screwed up by a professor. You're trying to make everybody happy. So it's really a different type of emotional and physical toll D3 is going to take. But you have more time. But I think you'll be more tired personally. And then D4 was incredible. D4 was the most free time I have ever had versus this year. This year I've just been working like normal, and so I've had plenty of time. But yeah, now time off is a different discussion altogether. My school didn't have time off at all. We were year round. We just had a little bit at the holidays. So hopefully Nova Southeastern has more relaxed clinic attendance policy. I really hope for your sake it does. I'm curious if you're from Florida or not, or if Florida is going to be a brand new transition for you, man. I'm gonna check my email real quick. I never check my email for this channel, and I have my email in the description. And early on in the channel, I had some people reach out to me. One like Muslim girl from England that she said she just liked how I spoke. It was kind of weird. And then some other dental student that said, "Oh, my buddies and I, we love watching your content. It's so funny." That was before I really was talking about dating and politics more. But yeah, my email is always there too. If you want to reach out to me, and I can help answer your questions. This live stream is pretty fun, actually. It's not like there's just a ton of people and a ton of engagement, but it's cool that you guys are choosing on your Friday to listen to me and ask me questions. You guys think I'm worthy enough to, and I have good wisdom for you. So that's awesome, man. Glad to give it. I'm from Florida. I actually got married earlier this year, and I will be going through this journey, and my wife will be holding me down, kind of like your future residency situation. Hey, that's wonderful. I am so glad that you got married and chose to get married. There's a lot of people, a lot of men out there that don't think it's really doable and possible these days. They're super jaded, and it seems like it's just becoming more rare to be of the persuasion to be all in on marriage. But I'm so glad. I'm happy for you, and I wish you the best in your marriage and in dental school. And yeah, she's gonna be there with you, helping you through. She's probably gonna be helping you pay some bills, man. And if she does that, if she works, then that's the sign of a really good woman that you're with. Somebody to stick by you as you're trying to better yourself and build yourself up. And she's gonna reap the rewards when you're done, and she will have earned those rewards just like you will have earned those rewards. You're both working towards a similar goal, and I'm assuming maybe you want kids, but it'll be such a blessing for your kids one day. And I see you're from Florida. That's awesome, man. I'd be curious where you're from in Florida. Of course, you don't have to answer that, but anything Florida, I love Florida. So, did you ever had moments that you disliked your professors? Hey Charles, do you have a nose, eyes, ears, and mouth? So if we're in the business of asking obvious questions, I'm messing with you. Of course, there was plenty of times that I disliked my professors. I had this one guy that he was so strict about the clinical note. I mean, he would keep you after clinic for an hour plus to just beat you over the head and read your note and say how terrible it was. And oh man, and there was tons of administration that I just hated. Tons of just of personalities that just were not pleasant personalities. You know, there's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason why they're teaching at the school is because they were probably not good dentists outside of the school in the community. They were not liked by their patients, and thus, not what's going to change when they get to school. They're just a bunch of unlikable people. So this is very cool. There's a share screen option on here. Okay. Well, yeah, keep the questions coming. I'm probably somebody else joined, and then they got off. I bet it's one of my buddies is just kind of jumping in here for a minute, but I'll keep the stream going for, maybe 15 more minutes, and I think this is a good showing for the first stream. I'll probably do another stream on Sunday, but again, I don't know how many more streams I'm gonna do once the wife comes, and I don't know. Okay, let's read this. So now that you're a general dentist, is it what you expected it to be when you were in school? When I was in school, I was very very much ready to make a paycheck and make a living and give my parents back their car I was using. They pretty much gave me their car, but I wanted just to get my own car. And yeah, it is kind of what I expected. I expected to make a check and be able to go out to eat a little bit more and not feel bad about it. I expected to buy some new clothes, just some more stuff that I've been needing for a while. I bought some ski stuff and I went on some ski trips. Yeah, I fully expected to be able to do more of that. I've saved more money in my bank account. I've invested more money. All of those things just came naturally, and yeah, that was everything I expected. The work itself, patients are still picky, patients are still crazy and stupid, and oral hygiene is still trash. And I think working with an assistant has been a learning curve, but yeah, having a good assistant is everything. It really makes your day or breaks your day. I think much of it is what I expected. Now, when I was like 18, no. No, this isn't what I expected. I thought dentistry was just easy. It's not easy. It is tough to do. It is very tough to do, but okay. Charles M, what app you use for dating? What you do any side job during school, or was it that busy? Eh, for dating apps, I used Hinge is where I met my future wife. I used Upwards, which is a Christian app, a Christian dating. Highly recommend that if you're a Christian. Now, a Mormon app, a Latter Day Saint app. I've talked a little bit about Mormonism. This channel, I swear, is all over the place. Uh, maybe that's a cool thing, and this channel will take off. But it's like I have so many things and thoughts and interests. It's like, why the heck are you talking about Mormonism anyway? I've alluded to that before, but a Mormon app is called Mutual. Mutual. And if you want to date Mormons, you go on Mutual. So I wanted to date a Christian girl, so I used Upwards. And then there's other apps like Bumble. I highly recommend Bumble and Hinge for sure. And then there is Tinder. It sounds like they're trying to make it to where it's not so much of just like a sex app. Honestly, I just got on Tinder and trolled a lot. I trolled a lot on Hinge too. A lot of like the skanky girls that would pop up. I just trolled. Because to be honest, like they're just trolling guys on there. They're trolling guys. So you got to get on these apps, and you can't really like care too much. Sometimes you got to just troll. What's so funny, Paul? What's so funny? Charles M. Did you do any side jobs? No, I did know a guy that worked at Chili's. He had a wife and had a baby. So yeah, he worked at Chili's. Yeah, I guess you're laughing about the Tinder thing. No, like literally on Hinge. Uh, cool thing about Hinge, if it hasn't changed, is you can send people a message directly. Now, there's tons of chicks on Hinge that would say like, if you're not over 6 foot, don't message me, and they're maybe fat or something, or I would literally just message them, how much do you weigh, and just troll. Like I knew, like for one, I don't want to get to know this person or go on a date with this person if they're like that, or they're just like super picky and annoying like that, just straight off in their personality. And so I wasn't gonna want to be with them anyway, and they probably weren't gonna want to go on a date with me because they're so crazy picky and their expectations are just unbelievable. So I would just troll them. I'd be like, "How much do you weigh?" Or just say stupid stuff to them, like in their inbox, like say, oh they say, oh, I want a guy that makes six figures, and just ask like what their cup size is, or just retarded stuff, just being 6 foot, six figures, six packs. That's it, man. People want girls really want a Tom Brady on the apps. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, so Paul's 2 cents, are sleepless nights common in school? Yes. Unfortunately, they're extremely common. Me and my two close friends during school, especially during clinic. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. During clinic, you're just afraid of getting jacked up by professors all the time and pleasing them. We all had trouble sleeping. Like, we literally had insomnia. We did not sleep well. It was crazy. And I didn't sleep well until I got out of school, and there's still a lot of nights I don't sleep well. And there was one day I just asked like this one girl in my clinic, I was like, "How are you sleeping?" I'm just curious. How are you sleeping? She was like, "I'm not sleeping very good." The reason being is because when you're young too, but when you're just going, and you're in survival mode, your sympathetic nervous system is just firing. It's just firing all the time, and your brain doesn't know when to rest. So that's why I think, I mean, that's the most plausible explanation that I can come up with. Let's see here. I'm going over a tab, and I'm going to look at my channel real quick to see. Let's see. Awesome. Yeah, it looks like my newest video is getting a couple views, a couple comments. 6 sweet 8 views, 8 views. Well, I know Charles is in here, and I know Paul is in here. Who is the third person in here? I want to know. Is there a way I can see who is in here? Because I will shout you out. I'll shout you out for wanting to be in my live stream. Maybe it's that Brandley fellow. I don't know. You got any siblings, or were you first to be dentist in your family? I have a great uncle that is a general surgeon. I don't see him very often at all. He lives in far away. That's the only doctor that has been in my family for generations. Um, I'm the first one in my immediate family. Yeah, there's no physicians, there's no dentists. I did this, I paved this way to do this. Yeah, yep, that's me. And I do have siblings. I'll just leave it at that. I have siblings. Well, cool, guys. I'm going to cut this off at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I'm still feeling a little sick. My throat's hurting. And I'm running out of steam to answer. But I love answering your questions. Paul's 2 cents. I'm going to take care of this question real quick. Especially when you're a dentist, a lot of women will see you as a finished product and be on their best behavior to try to get a ring. Yeah, that is an unfortunate reality. And you will experience this as well. You have a wonderful wife who is willing to put in the work with you. But when you graduate as a dentist, man, I mean, let's be honest. Like you have demonstrated you're a hard worker. You have a title that people see as like a big deal. You're gonna have resources and money. Those are all things that women like. And so yeah, there's gonna be people that want to just grab you up and get with you at the end there. And so I'm so glad I'm getting married this early on in my career, and I'm gonna have a wonderful wife that wants to build a future with me and not just jump in at the end. Now, you know, if I was literally graduating as an oral surgeon and a lady just wanted to come into my life, there would most likely be a prenuptial agreement. I'm not doing one. I'm just not doing one. You know, I I haven't really built anything, and I'm not planning on getting divorced. That's not in my my. That's just not happening for me. So, okay, please let me know any last comments, any last questions. I've had a blast doing this for you guys. Any last comments, any last questions before we wrap up this Friday live stream, May 30th, 2025? Ah, I see. I don't have a prenup either because we both can in this with nothing. Came, guess came. Yep. Yeah, man. You got married as two broke people, and my part of my belief system is marriage is a religious thing. It is a covenant with God, and the only way you can get biblically divorced is by a one party in the marriage committing adultery, or perhaps you can make a biblical argument for abandonment, or if one spouse dies, then it's like the marriage is over and you can get remarried. So really divorce is just not an option for me, and so that I didn't get a prenup because there's no point in considering the idea of divorce, because it's just, it's just not an option. It's not an option for me. Um, but I like your reason for not getting a prenup. Awesome, man. I appreciate you joining. I'm glad to hear that you're a Christian too. That's awesome. I can't believe I've attracted somebody to this channel who is a dentist and who is a Christian and who is also married. Like that's kind of crazy to me. Such a niche thing. I'm glad that you are part of the channel and enjoy the content. I will keep making it for you, man. So please don't be a stranger. My email is in my YouTube channel, like I guess the welcome area, just facts about me or whatever. Please reach out, and I will help be a mentor to you and advise you as best as I can. So, and I may be able to give you a little bit more information that I maybe can't say for the rest of the internet, if that makes sense. So, all right, man. All right. Good to hear you. Wonderful, Charles. I'm glad you're a Christian too. It's the only way, man. It's the only way to do things, and I'm kind of surprised that you are going to be a dentist and you are a Christian, and you're tuning into my channel. That's kind of nuts how rare that is. All those things lining up. Any last thoughts? Any last comments before we go? Before we conclude? Speak now or hold your peace until the next live stream or the next video in which you can comment on. Till next time. Okay. That's what I say at the end of all my videos. So thanks, Charles. I appreciate your encouragement. Okay. I will probably live stream this coming Sunday. So I'll see y'all then. Bye bye.